Well, from BMW to another long-standing partner of HPE, my next guest is David Linthicum, Chief Cloud Strategy Officer at Deloitte. David, good to have you.
It's great to be here.
I want to start off by talking about this business environment that we're in. We're probably in the fastest moving business environment we've ever seen, a lot of leaders would argue, and that can pose a number of challenges, right? What are some of the most pressing questions and issues that you are seeing your customers face today?
Yeah, what do we do with all the complexity that's being built up as we start moving faster? In other words, we have no-code and low-code solutions that are developed largely by AI-based systems. So we're accelerating the number of applications that they're putting into production. And so that's accelerating the number of moving parts that need to be maintained. So right now it's asking the question, how are we going to make that scale? What technologies are going to be relevant to us to solve that problem? And that's a big question, and we're working through that right now.
Yeah, and another problem and sort of solution that a lot of customers and clients are here for at HPE Discover is the data solution, right? Companies are producing tremendous amounts of data. They're trying to mine it and manage it, and make it more useful in whatever way that they can. With all of the options available now, how do you prioritize when and how to best use the hybrid cloud?
I think we use every architecture that's appropriate to the optimization of the business. And that's a big geeky answer that I just said, but ultimately we're looking at the core business requirements and backing the appropriate technology into the requirements. But the reality is that everybody has on-premise solutions are going to be there forever. Right. They're not going to go away. And utilization of the cloud when it's needed, when it has strategic advantage, and it sure does. Yeah. And so that's typically going to get you into a hybrid cloud environment where we're splitting workloads between the on-premise systems. And by the way, that's edge-based systems, mobile-based systems, growth of intelligent edge systems, and use of public cloud providers, typically plural, and also private clouds that are there, things like that. So that's what I mean when we're getting to a complex environment, because we're using the technology to the best value to the business, and that's leading us to leveraging best-of-breed technology that's going to be on any platform that can be optimized. So we're going to get to a hybrid cloud platform. I love what your CEO said today. It's going to be mostly by accident, and this is absolutely true.
Yeah, complex solutions require complex problems solved by complex solutions.
Right, hopefully not making them more complex.
Yes, absolutely. Well, here at HPE Discover this year, I know you're very busy. You're giving a tech talk, sharing some of the best practices when it comes to maximizing cloud investments. Give us the Cliff Notes version of what is it that you are bringing to your audiences about best practices that they should be considering.
Yeah, it's really taking a pragmatic look at this technology and looking at the value. So we had a couple of things occur in 2022. We saw that the value was diminishing on cloud-based systems that were implemented from some of our customers. We learned about that in some of the surveys we've done. Surveys we did. So how do you leverage this technology in a way that's going to maximize the amount of value that comes back to the business? And that's a core question to answer. Now, the details of and the best practices that you look at is become to terms with where you are now in your migration to any kind of new modern environment, cloud computing included. So what about modernization of systems that exist in the cloud? What about the connective tissue that needs to occur in between the on-premise environments and things that sit in the cloud computing? What about leveraging the AI technology that has huge opportunities for us to automate and innovate the business, but what about the limitations of that and making the problem worse? So it's looking both ways. It's looking into the future and looking at the value of the technology that can bring to us, but it's also looking at where we need to go and how to leverage that stuff in a pragmatic way where we can prove the value that comes back to the business. We can monitor it and make it happen.
Got it. And as you look to the future and all the change ahead, what makes you most excited? What's on the horizon?
Well, I think ultimately we're going to get to a state where we finally have the connectivity there and basically the ability to simplify these implementations. So we're working on the new, Meta Cloud, Super Cloud thing, and all that is a logical layer of technology. Green Lake is certainly a huge part of that, where you're able to make all these systems, data, security systems, governance systems, communicate one to another, and therefore kind of simplify the span of technology sprawl that we typically have within enterprises. So we have a heterogeneity problem. We have lots of different platforms that we're leveraging. The ability to do that and deal with the complexity of the system on our terms versus on the terms of the systems that we're monitoring and managing. Right. One of the things I saw here was just a great amount of care and thinking about how that's going to work, how we're going to make connectivity between the on-premise systems that are vital to the enterprise and make them work with the cloud-based systems. And it's refreshing to me that that's come around as a priority. And I think that's a pragmatic use of our IP to take this technology to the next level to solve this problems for the enterprise.
Great hearing your thoughts, David. Appreciate your time today.
Anytime.